All right, haves and have not fans. I think it goes without saying that when you combine both parts of the reunion to, a 2 hour special, I don't think anyone would debate that the greatest part was the final segment, which was about 10 to 12 minutes long, of the cast saying their farewell to the show. And I already posted this in the community tab of the channel. I also posted in the Haves and Have Nots Facebook group and my Haves and Have Not Facebook page. And I said, look, I'm not protesting outside of Tyler Perry Studios for more have and have nots. However, after the love poured out on that stage by the cast about how they'll miss each other and the environment Tyler Perry created, part of me feels he saw part 2 of the reunion and is writing a season 9 right now. And I mean, that clip alone on YouTube is almost at 100,000 views because fans love that moment. I mean, we started at Wyatt, then ended with Gavin. And I mean, I could be, just sitting up here talking about it for hours, but this is more to the point of it was one heck of an emotional farewell. Some people are like, it's not coming back. Just because they had that moment doesn't mean Tyler Perry's going to write more. This isn't uncommon for shows like this or movie franchises to have a big emotional send-off. I mean, hell, look at the MCU. Whenever characters are written out of the series, I don't want to just say killed off, but written out of the franchise, it's like a big moment. But the thing is, it's been 2 years. But I feel for me, what I loved is the fact that there were different levels of sorrow for the cast because of the fact that it wasn't just getting together on Temptation Tuesdays with fans online, the watch parties with each other, friends, family, but also being able to say, see you next year when it came to going to Camp Tyler Perry for their filming for the next season. And I just love the fact that I'm not a Friends fan. I watched like a few episodes, but it's just not for me. I'm not bashing on the series. I'm more of a Living Single kind of guy. But I did watch clips from the, Friends, the final reunion or whatever. And I know that was a big thing for fans. I know some fans had complaints and whatnot, and I just love the fact that it was, I haven't seen the entire thing, but I have seen a couple reviews and a couple clips. And I just love the fact that they were able to recreate iconic scenes and, reading the scripts and stuff like that, even creating sets. And it felt like a final farewell because this was like the last time the cast as a whole would come together to do an event like this. But it's clear that over the years, the cast still hang out. They make appearances on other shows and whatnot, and they're still close. What the haves and the have-nots is kind of the same thing. We've seen, like they said, Catherine said in part 1, weddings, funerals, housewarming parties, children, big events like, if a cast member has, a play or they're in another movie or whatever, they are there for each other. Like the love they have for each other is always going to be there because they've always hung out. It's just that, I mean, hell, and when you really think about it, there have been a lot of Tyler Perry cast members in general. Like there have been a Loving You Is Wrong cast who hang out together, like Wyatt and what's his name? I forget his name. I think it's Ryan in real life, but he played the other cop who became Esperanza's love interest towards the end of it. Was it Steven? Him and Wyatt, they hang out. And hell, what's his name? Moose from the Boo movies. He was also in Too Close to Home. He hangs out with him too. And, a lot of the cast intermingle, but when talking about the haves and have-nots cast, specifically, yes, this was an emotional moment because of the fact that, I think what really, I didn't cry, but I felt like if I'm one of those people, I don't cry, but if the emotions are like staring you right in the face, like it's kind of like being in church and you don't really show emotion, but when they sing that one song and it feels like they're milking a verse for everything it's worth. It's like, nope. It's like, we fall down, but we get up. Nope. But then they keep going. It's like, you got me. I think for me was just the thankfulness they had. Peter and Angela, Catherine, a lot of these people who have been in the acting game, especially when, you're black, there's like a shelf life. And the haves and the have-nots revamped a lot of these actors' careers. I'm not just talking about the ones who, like Tyler Lepley, who said this was his first acting gig and whatnot, but I mean people who have been in the game for decades. And the haves and the have-nots was an atmosphere, a fan base, a production company, a cast family that was unlike anything they had ever experienced up to that point in their career. And I think Renee said, I just hope and pray that any future projects I work on will be like this, because it's easy to take for granted, to work in a Christian, you basically in the presence of a believer, to have such a very close-knit family of cast and makeup crew and everybody. Because even looking at behind the scenes, like, Instagram stories, even like, the cast, they have a great relationship with like the makeup team, the wardrobe, pretty much everybody, and it's phenomenal. So yeah, it would be a hell of an emotional thing, because you could argue, well, they filmed the show 2 years ago. Yeah, but remember, there have been seasons. The seasons aired in between, the filming of those final episodes and when the finale aired. So there's like the watch parties, being online with fans, and so many things. But like they said, being on this stage was like, damn, this really is the last time we're getting together for the haves and the have-nots. So the question is, like I said in my post, yeah, maybe Tyler Perry saw this and was like, you know what, I'll do something else. He could possibly do that. But like I said in a recent video, it's like, if the haves and the have-nots really doesn't come back, that doesn't mean I wouldn't want these actors to work in other Tyler Perry projects. Not to say that they couldn't work in something else. Like, what if there's like a semi-girls trip movie where it's Angela, Renee, and Crystal? I'd love to see something like that. It just seems like I'd rather see these actors in new projects than to just bring out the haves and the have-nots for fan demand, but then it still then it sucks. But I just feel like, it was definitely a lot of weight to what they were saying, and I felt bad for Gavin, because it's like, what can I say that hasn't already been said, because he's sitting at the very end. So after all those like phenomenal things that were said, the gratefulness, it's like, it's difficult to really put into words what you feel, because they all feel, the same. And it sucks John Snyder wasn't available to be there, because of the fact that, it would have been great to have all of them together. And yeah, I know I do have some slight things, like I wish certain characters or actors were there that weren't, but I'll do my, full-on reunion review at one time. So with that being said, do you think this emotional farewell, as well as giving thanks to Tyler Perry, may lead into a season 9 or a wrap-up movie? What I mean by that is some sort of like television event that would actually wrap up the events of the story. But let me know your thoughts below, and I'll leave a link to the emotional farewell in the comment section so you can see it for yourself. I'm pretty sure if in the next day or two, HAHN will actually go ahead and upload part 2 of the reunion to their YouTube channel, and we'll be good to go from there. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. It just shows that, for what it's worth, even if you came into the haves and have-nots season 5, season 3, season 7, the cast just love it. The fact that, I feel like if nothing else, we were able to give the cast, just a hell of a time. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful parts of the haves and the have-nots, just knowing that they appreciate the fan base, because without us, the show wouldn't be squat. It's just all love. So hopefully, even if the show never does anything again, if Tyler Perry never even shots down HAHN again, I wish the cast the best of luck in their future projects, and that's really all I got. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.